Yeah, so apologies for a delay of a couple of minutes. We are just going live now. All right.
Okay, so I'll start.
Yeah, Ashwini, you can start. Just one
Yeah.
second. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you can start.
Sorry, just a second. Yeah. First of all, welcome everyone to the Design Nuances Edu series hosted by DQ Labs. So I'll just quickly run through a few objectives and what we're going to be doing in this session. So you are here today to learn the nuances of a new topic specific to design, architecture, or fashion. You will get introduced to a new school and understand their purpose. You will also get to interact with an expert and absorb the knowledge that they share. So there are a few protocols that need to be followed in this webinar. So the agenda is that we have 15 minutes to talk about the school, 40 minutes about the topic, and 20 minutes will be allotted for a Q&A session. So please follow these instructions. Keep your microphones on mute. Your comments or any answers or questions you have will be posted in the chat, and please switch on your webcams. If you want to unmute and ask a question, you may do so by using the raise your hand feature on Zoom, and you will be given a chance to ask your question. But make sure that your questions are brief and to the point. All right. So we are here today with Kalyani D, a senior lecturer and faculty from Pearl Academy. Welcome, Kalyani. And she's going to be discussing the topic about rapid prototyping in UI UX design. So a little bit about Kalyani. Just a second. Now, had a master's product design. She is also a pan-India level UX, CX designer and a UX faculty. She has worked on building 200 plus UI screens with expertise in AR, VR, and MR technologies. Her work has also been registered with the design rights for the digital products that have been developed within her work experience. So along with a successful career in UI, UX, and graphic design, Kalyani has also worked on projects in different disciplines of design, including design thinking, design research, data and analytics, and so to learn a little more about Pearl Academy, we have a link on DQ Edge.
Ashwini.
And also a link to the Pearl Academy application. Yeah.
Ashwini, I think your network seems to be a little weak. Maybe
okay.
You can switch your cam off and your video off and then see whether it works better.
Is it better now?
Not really. I don't know if you can switch to a different network.
I'll try. Is it better now?
Yeah, I think what you can do is you can continue and we'll let you know. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying was that there are, if you want to learn more about Pearl Academy, there's a link for Pearl Academy on DQ Edge, and also a Pearl Academy application link that is available in the same page, which will be shared on the chat. Now, Kalyani can take over the session.
Yeah. Can you people hear me? Okay. Good morning, one and all. Thank you for the warm welcome, Ashwini. It was really in detail and very heart overwhelming. And yes, so last time we had discussed in detail about wireframing. So we had understood what exactly is wireframing, low fidelity wireframes, and high fidelity wireframes. So to the continuation of that process that we follow within UI development and UI designing, we have chosen a topic which is called as rapid prototype. So rapid prototyping is the initial stages which is used within UI development and UI designing. How is it done, and what are the tools used in it, and how you can test as a designer, UI designer, and also as a UI developer, I'll teach you today. So for that, I would want all of you to understand or have Figma as a tool. So hope you people have access to a web browser, which is called as Figma. So can you people quickly search as Figma, Figma. I'll type it in the chat box. I'll also share my screen so that I can guide you how to log into Figma and use that as a tool. Okay. Let me share my screen. Let me know once you can see the screen. Can you people see the screen?
Yeah, the screen is visible. Go on.
Okay. So search as Figma. The moment you search as Figma, this is the collaborative interface design tool that we usually get. So click on this. As I have logged in, these are my files. So for you to log in, you need to sign in through your Gmail account, Google account, and then log in. Okay, so let's do one thing. Dion, can you give access to one of the students so that I can guide them through for a step-by-step process? I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, so anyone could, does anyone want to volunteer to share your screen where you can start using
And
Figma?
Juhi, Drishti, Jyotsna, Neelam, Nidhi, Samarth, Prachi. Any one of you share your screen and search for Figma.
Ma'am, I can do it.
Yeah. Please share your screen. Yes. So continue, maximize it, Vritti. Please maximize it. Yeah. Continue with Google. Okay. Sign into one of your account. Click on that on the drop down. Yeah. Design. Click on design. Yes. Click on the next button. How will you for personal use or yeah. I agree to the yes. Create an account. Okay, so now click on new design file. Team name, you can give it as product team or design team. Cancel this. You don't have to choose anything else of now. Click somewhere else. Or click on start for free. Yeah. Design with Figma. iPhone 11 Pro. Okay. So this you have directly selected. Other way of doing it is, can you go to the main menu bar on the left-hand side? Yeah. Click on that. So click on File, New Design File. Okay. Yeah. Please stop sharing your screen. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes. So from here, I'll continue again. So as you people have logged in, so from the moment you log in, just give me a second, I'll share my screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I've taken a new design file. I'll take iPhone 13 mini. So let's do it with a mobile application artboard itself. So this is the dimension that we have. We can customize it depending upon the requirements of the design that we are doing. Otherwise, we can stick to the standard size of this one specific dimension of the artboard. So the moment you do it, so you have to create either your low fidelity wireframes or your high fidelity wireframes, or you have the choice of making your mid fidelity wireframes. So as you people remember, we understood what is low fidelity wireframes, high fidelity wireframes, and mid fidelity wireframes in our previous workshop. So if you create your wireframes with a lot of buttons, with interactive graphics, illustrations, and with a lot of theme colors, and with buttons and UI components and UI elements, which are your flat icons, 3D icons, etc., to be within your wireframe. This is the wireframe that is called as high fidelity wireframe. If you have simple text, simple buttons with little less color, with little less graphics, or with little less illustrations, or with a little wireframe. Okay. Yes. So let's create a sign in or a login page, and then we'll prototype it. And then I'll tell you what or how does the rapid prototype will work. Okay, we'll quickly do a wireframe now. Please do follow me step by step. I'll do it very slowly. I want you people to open your Figma window like this, take a new file and take a wireframe like this, any artboard, specific artboard from the mobile application dimensions that you have on your right hand side. Once you click on the frame, you will get different frames on your right hand side. You can pick any one from this iPhone artboards or the dimensions of the standard size of the artboards that you have. Click one of them and place it like this. Okay. So the moment you place them, you click on the rectangle option that you have, and then you duplicate it, which is Control D. So the moment you select one of the rectangle box, place it, and then Control D. Okay, you can duplicate that. So then you follow the orange lines and then arrange according to the alignment of that. And then either you can keep one of them, or you can delete the upper one and you can duplicate this. Control D again, I'm placing it on the top. Okay. So then I need some text. So I'll go back to the main menu bar, which is on the top. I'll click on text. I'll type it over here as login. Okay. And then I'll click on this or select on this text and I'll come to the right hand side. Then I'll select on the font. I want the size to be 20 in number and I want it to be bold. Okay. Done till here. Any questions? Anything that you want me to repeat? Guys, are you following me? Yes, no, you can unmute yourself and you need to interact with me. It has to be a two-way conversation, right? Clear? Any questions? Anything that you want me to repeat?
No.
Okay. So then you will duplicate this text box again, place it over here, and again duplicate it, place it over here. Okay, you should always remember the guidelines of the yellow lines and then the numbers that are there. So these are actually the default guidelines that you find in Figma, which will actually help you to align your text boxes, your buttons, your UI components and UI elements according to the grid space that you have chosen. Here our grid space or the artboard size is this, and we are following a specific grid layout, which is according to the sign up page or a sign in page credentials or the UX rules that we always follow. So for which we only need two buttons and three text boxes. If you want, you can also place more number of icons and also more number of illustrations. But to create a mid-fidelity wireframe, this is enough. Okay. So here I'll write it as email. And below I'll write it as password. Okay, I want to change the size of the font. I'll make it as 16 and this also will be 16. So instead of extra bold, I'll make it as light. Okay, so this is one of our wireframe, which is our mid-fidelity wireframe, because it doesn't have a lot of illustrations or graphics or animations or micro interactions. And the color theory that we have chosen is gray color in number. It doesn't have much color theory also. Okay. So to make one more wireframe, I'll duplicate this. Then I'll move it just beside this, right? So then the moment the user clicks on this email button, they need to write email, right? So for that, I'll select on the text again. Then I'll type the text. As Figma is a web browser, it takes time to load certain times. The more number of UI screens, these are called as UI screens, you will add, the more time it will take things to capture. It is okay. What we'll do is we'll duplicate this and we'll put it inside the text box. So I have selected color and I have chosen the colors. I've typed it. I want one more box for the password, right? So I'll align this over here exactly at the alignment of the subheadings. And I'll also select this and I'll align it over here. Okay. So complete it till here. And let me know when you people are done. I'll give you 5 minutes to do the same. Okay. Ruhi, Neelam, Nidhi, Rupa, Ruchita, Samarth, Sanchita, Shreyoshi, Shweta, Tanishk, Tavishi, Viha, Vritti. Complete this and then you people will share your screen one by one. I want to see what you people have created. Okay, clear? I'll give you 5 minutes to do the same. Dion, do they have the sharing access? Everybody has the sharing access?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do have sharing access.
If you people are stuck somewhere, do let me know. Unmute yourself and ask questions. And if you have completed these 2 screens, 2 wireframes, which is mid-fidelity wireframes, raise your hand or unmute yourself and tell me that you have completed the same. Okay? Clear, guys?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
how will you duplicate that page so that I can put the
You have to click on this. You can, so go on the select option. Then you will get this cursor. Use your cursor keys and select this. Okay. Then once the blue line has been outlined on this artboard, click on Control D. It will be duplicated. Okay. I'll show it to you again. Go to the select option. This is the select option. Bring it near the artboard. Use your touchpad and your scrolling option. Okay. Select the artboard and then click on Control D.
yes.
Kalyani, can you talk about in what context a mid-fidelity prototype or a low-fidelity prototype is used?
So low fidelity prototypes are like initial explorations of your designs. So before confirming your information architecture, task flow, and user flows, we do low fidelity wireframes. So once our low fidelity wireframes are approved by the stakeholders or from the clients, or as a designer, you will take a call that this will work for the digital platform or the digital product that you're creating. You will go ahead and you will create high fidelity wireframes. For example, can you see the screens?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are high fidelity wireframes.
Okay.
Okay. So these ones have the company's logo and they have the entire navigational flow clickable option. So if I start playing these screens, everything has a clickable option and it has a continuous step-by-step process, right? So the moment you give a lot of color, illustrations and pictures, graphics, realistic images like this, and then there is a nested list, and then there is a navigational flow, it is called a high fidelity wireframe, where it has a complete clickable option. Okay. And if you go to the prototype, and select all the screens, it has a flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is called as a clickable prototype, which is also part of your high fidelity wireframes. So the difference between mid fidelity, low fidelity, and high fidelity wireframes is that low fidelity wireframes are static designs. They can be either done on paper. So the single UI screen over here that you can see, right? So this is done digitally in Adobe XD. So the same thing can be done on paper initially, like the buttons over here, the text over here, and the other text that have placed over here is done on paper and then taken the approval. Sometimes, depending upon the requirement of the project, the company will ask you to do it on Azure, or they'll ask you to do it on XD or Figma itself. So your low fidelity wireframes, which has to be only in black and white color, no color should be added. And even the buttons will have like few colors, only black and white should be added as the color theory. So if you do that, that is called as your low fidelity wireframes. Your mid fidelity wireframes will have 2 to 3 combination of colors, 2 to 3 combination of illustrations or graphics or animations or micro interactions, and very little number of images or graphics that you can use. So it will not have a lot of gradients level or the shadow effect that I have given for this button. Like this, it will not be done in detail. The moment you do it in detail, the moment you give the prototype plugins, as I showed you over here, like this, it is called as high fidelity wireframes. So that is the difference between your high fidelity wireframes, mid fidelity wireframes, and low fidelity wireframes.
Okay, got it. So how can students who are, in the 11th and 12th grade use Figma, and probably for their portfolios, what advice would you give in how to go about using it?
So they can start off by exploring different screens. Probably they can start creating low fidelity wireframes, like one screen for low fed, and how will they transform into a high fidelity wireframe. So initial stages of sign-in pages, login pages, or one website design, or one dashboard would be helpful for them to understand the UX principles and the design process and the UI design that we usually do in detail. But to understand the whole methodology and how does the entire process works and how does a specific application or the digital product goes live, they need to do the entire 4 years UG and 2 years PG course.
Yes, got it.
Yeah. Okay. Done till here, guys. Any questions? No questions? So once you have done the design part, select the screens and click on prototype. Okay, the moment you click on prototype, you will get the plugins, right? So the dotted circle with a plus sign, we call it as prototype plugins. So click on that and give the prototype plugin to the next artboard. So once you give the plugins, there will be a window which will pop up on your right-hand side. So click on the different options that you can see. The first option is on tap, right? So if you click on the drop down, there will be varied options. So for you to explore in the as a beginner stage or in the beginning stage, you can click on tab, then navigate to the second screen, or you can also give open overlay as an option. There are a lot of options. Let's not get into details because it is little complex. So for you to understand the basics, either you can navigate to the second screen from first screen to second screen, or you can give swap overlay or open overlay or close overlay as an option. Okay, here I'm giving you open overlay as an option. Okay, then my second screen is this one. So I'm giving the prototype plugin from this button to this artboard. And then I want it to be centered, or if you want to keep it as top right, top left, bottom left, how do you want to overlay from one artboard to the other artboard? This is how the transformation will happen. So let us keep it as centered itself. And then the animation should be move in or instant. So let's stick to instant. Okay. So these are the interactions that we have given for the navigational click. So the moment user logs into your login into your sign-in page or login page, they will enter certain things in the buttons. So in email, they'll enter the email ID, and then in password, they'll enter the password, right? So for them to click on it, this is how the transformation will happen. So now once I have given all the prototype plugins, I'll go to an option which is on the right-hand side top. So on the top of the right-hand side, you can see a play button. So you click on that, and then your entire prototype plays in a new window. It will take time to load. Okay, can you people see the screen, mobile screen?
Yes, ma'am.
No, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the moment I click on it, my navigation will happen. Okay. So this is the clickable prototype that we have created. Click to you again. Got it? So this is the clickable option that we have created. So do it till here and then share the screen. And then I'll give you a task to do the same.
Ma'am, could you please show the connecting again?
Okay. Okay. So once I have designed the two UI screens, I'll select the two artboards. Then I'll click on one of the buttons. Either you can select the button or the artboard. For me, I want to select from the button to the artboard. So I'm clicking on the button. Once I click on the button, there will be a circle with a plus sign. Click on that and give the plugin to the artboard. Okay. The moment you do it, there will be a flow which will be created. And then there will be a window which will pop up on the right-hand side. Okay. Then you give any of the options for the initial stages as beginners. For you, you choose either on tap or on drag. Okay, on tap is perfect. Then you will navigate it to the second screen, which we have already given. This is our second screen. And then the animation is instant. Okay. Then once you have given these options, you go to the play button and play it. So I'll repeat the interactions again. Once the window pops up, you have to click on tap and then navigate to iPhone 13 mini to screen 2 and then instant. And then once it is selected, go to the play option and present your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we have created a clickable prototype. Clear? I'll give you 5 minutes to do this.
Yeah. Could you also talk about other apps that are probably more easier to use for somebody who's just starting out to understand UI UX?
So within UI UX, we have only 4 tools or softwares which are very, very important for you to do the UI design and the UX design. The 4 tools or softwares are Adobe XD. So all my previous designs according to my company's requirement, which was my previous company was Fixer. So they had Adobe XD as the software, right? So either XD or Figma or InVision and Sketch. So InVision and Sketch are meant for Mac softwares for iOS, and for Android and for Microsoft, you use XD and Figma. Figma, you can use it for both. You also have the option of selecting material design of your iconographies and your UI kits specifically for your iOS designs. And if you are coming up with Android or mobile applications or Google Pixel mobile applications or web applications or websites, you can also use Figma. So Figma is neutral, where you can use it for both uh, two different platforms, that is for Android and for iOS, where XT is specifically meant for Android applications and for Microsoft web applications or websites. And then for your Mac softwares, where you have to only use InVision and Sketch. So these are the four tools and softwares which are primarily meant for UI UX. You are not supposed to use or develop your prototypes or design your wireframes in any other softwares. These are the only four softwares that you have to always use. And globally speaking, in terms of the industry experts or how does the industry work, so out of the four, you have to know minimum of one software in detail, either XT or Figma in detail. Most of the companies ask you to know Figma or XT in detail. If you know Figma and XT, it is very easy to learn InVision and Sketch. So initially, once they take you on board, they'll train you depending upon the softwares that you will be designing or developing for creating certain set of digital platforms and digital products. So if you don't know InVision or Sketch, they'll train you for 1 month or 1.5 months, and then they'll start giving you the project. So this is how the industry works. But if you don't know any one of the software, it is very difficult for you to get placed in any of the companies.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So if it's just about making wireframes, like say for just beginner portfolio and all of that, so it would be okay to use something like Illustrator or Photoshop, right?
So Photoshop, Illustrators, we don't use it within UI UX. So there is something called as visual design or graphic design, right? So you can see a lot of icons, you can see a lot of illustrations or graphics which are part of the apps. Like, for example, right? So like this, I have taken the map images. So these are the graphics, like these are vector graphics, and these are realistic images. So to design this, to edit them, to increase the color hue or change the graphics or the little editing that we do, we use Photoshop and Illustrator. But abundantly, the entire set of wireframes that we create, we use only Adobe XD, Figma, or InVision or Sketch to do the wireframes. So that is how it works. InVision or Sketch or Adobe XD or Figma is used, and Photoshop Illustrator is basically to edit certain set of images or icons, or to create the entire set of iconographies like this that I have created. Just a second. So these icons were created from the scratch using Illustrator. So these icons are done by Illustrator, by using Illustrator, right? So Illustrator is used to create certain set of iconography or illustrations or basic image editing, like to use it in Photoshop and then put it in my UI screens. So those tools are only meant for that. We don't use them to create wireframes. So basically for creating wireframe, primarily we use XD, Figma, and InVision and Sketch itself. Other than that, we also use Adobe After Effects and Premiere Pro if we are compiling or embedding any 2D, 3D animation videos or specific animations or micro interactions within our UI screens. But to create an entire set of prototype with the ecosystem of UI screens, we need XD, Figma, or InVision or Sketch itself. So those are our primary centered softwares or tools that we use.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So how's it going, everyone, with the prototype?
Okay, so yes, let me know once you people have completed the prototype, then there is a task for you people.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, please share your screen or
Ma'am, now when I'm putting the text over the shapes, for some reason the text isn't showing.
okay. Can you share your screen, please?
Ma'am, I'm attending the session through phone, but
Phone?
I'm doing yes, ma'am, but I'm doing everything else on laptop.
Okay, okay. So yeah, you're saying that the text is overlaying, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can click on the text, move it outside the button, and then right click. There will be a drop down which says bring it front or bring it forward. Okay, click
Kalyani,
on
could you
that.
share your screen?
People see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moment you click on the text, bring it outside the text box, select on bring it to front, and then place it inside the button. I guess now it is like this. So select that and then bring it front. It will come upon the button and it will be placed in the center. Or you can select your heading, duplicate it, click on it, and then decrease the size to 16 and then type it or edit it over here. Okay. And then place it in the button like this. Here, were you able to follow it?
Yes, ma'am. It worked.
Okay, great. So let me know once you people have completed the prototype. Completing the prototype with the prototype plugins is very important. So this screen has to be there. Do you need 5 more minutes or is it done, guys?
Ma'am, I finished it.
Okay, what about others?
I'm done.
Okay, if you're done, could you share your screen and show the prototype?
Yes, ma'am.
Please click on it. Correct. Yeah, Vritti, it is correct. Yes, others. Anant, Juhi, Sanchita, Neelam, Datri, Drishti, Denisha, Ruchita, Daksh, Ipsita, Tanishk, Tavishi, Madhuri. Are you people done?
Also, in the meantime, if you guys have any questions with regards to the UI UX industry and all of that, you could please start putting them in the chat.
Yeah, please ask any questions or if you have any doubts regarding the entire UI UX process or how does the industry work, or if you're stuck anywhere in between your wireframes, you can also pop regarding the questions. Yeah, Juhi.
Hi, Kalyani. This is Juhi. I'm basically a mother of a student who's a design aspirant. She's currently in 10th grade. So the reason why I joined this session was to understand a bit about Pearl Design Institute. And because my daughter is aiming for like UI UX design as a career, just want to understand how what kind of courses Pearl is offering, and how good is the institute, and what is the procedure, what are the entrance exams and all. So that was the whole idea of joining this session for me.
Sure, ma'am. I would love to answer that question. So we have 4 specializations within UG for undergraduate course, which is game design, UI UX, and then we have animation and VFX, and then graphics and communication design. So other than this, we have PG UI UX, which is a 2 years course, and we also have been placed with 100% placements. One of my student got placed at PhonePe with 17 lakhs as the highest package. And all our UG kids are placed in best of the best companies. To name a few, they have been placed in Deloitte, Accenture, and yes, Swiggy, Dunzo. These are the best companies which they are placed at. So all of them are placed at entry, not at entry level UX designers, but at level 2 designers who are like senior designers, because they had those kinds of projects which were part of their portfolio, which explained a lot of UI designing in detail, where they had created n number of projects around mobile applications, web applications, and websites. And they had their in-depth research, which is part of your UX research. And we also offer 2 months internship, because for us to be part of Industry Connect is very, very important. So in UG at level 1, once you complete your level 1, which is year 2, before going to year 3, they have to do 2 months internships where the students can come up with a list of companies, or we have, as the Pearl Academy, we always keep our Industry Connect up to date. We also call a lot of industry people for master classes, for workshops and webinars. I have my friends working in Amazon, Google, Swiggy, Dunzo, Yulu, in all across the world. So they work for different unicorn startups and MNCs. So I always call them to be in touch with my students, where they can understand the Industry Connect and how does UI UX is developing, and what is a present in the industry developmental process that they have to understand, right? So 2 months internship is for the list of companies that they have, or we provide them with the reference companies. So either they can choose their dream company, or we will refer them for the best of the best companies. So throughout the 2 months internship process, whatever they would have learned for the first 2 years from level 0 or level 1, they'll go and execute it. They'll come back as a budding UX UI designer, and then they'll complete the complex topics or the modules, and then they'll be launched for campus placements. So the entire curriculum is designed in a way that they'll start with the basics of fundamentals of UX UI design. Once they reach out to their level 2 and level 3, which is their 3rd and 4th year, they learn the complex topics and the modules which are part of UX and UI design. For PG, it is initially the basics and then directly jumped in the complex modules. Yeah.
One more question, like normal, as now she is in 10th, maybe once she gets into 11th, are there any courses for students who are planning to become designers, like summer programs or something that they can do in Pearl Academy, so as to get an exposure of what they're going to aim at once they get into a real course? So something like summer courses?
No, we don't have summer courses, Juhi. We do undergrad, we do postgrad. We have something called Pearl Edge, which is a 3-month course, but that may not be a precursor to what Kalyani has just done. So Kalyani's course is a intensive 4-year program, or a very intense 2-year program. We don't do summer courses.
Okay, so there are no summer courses for students till 12th grade, right?
No, we don't do summer courses. For that, I think people like DQ Labs and all are the best, because they do the coaching. We don't do that.
Understand.
Yeah. At this point, I don't know if you'll have heard about the design exploration program.
So, Dion?
Yes.
Dion, this is Juhi. So Vanchika has already taken the design exploration.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
And she has already joined Orinco Academy, so it's all set.
Okay, fantastic. But on your questions regarding the entrance process for Pearl Academy, we've done a webinar called eMeet Pearl Academy. I'll share the link in the chat box, and you can click on that and watch that at any point of time. Yeah.
Sure. Perfect. That will help.
Anytime you want to drop in and check the campus, you're most welcome in Residency Road. Please come and check the campus. You can meet the faculty. You can see what's happening. That's an option that you have.
Perfect. I'll do that. Thank you, Sayokita.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you, dear.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Done with the prototype?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now open your phones, and if you're using Android phone, open your Play Store. If you're using iPhone, open your App Store and type as Figma Mirror. Okay. Once you open those, once you type it as Figma Mirror, you will have a lot of options. You have to choose the second one, which is Figma and Figma Jam, or Figma and FigJam. Okay. Click on this and open it. The moment you open this, there will be login to Figma option. You have to click on that. Continue. And then continue with your mobile app. Can you people see? So then your recent designs that you have done, let me just decrease the brightness. Just give me a second. Okay. So the moment you open this, you can see the recent designs that are there, which has been just opened, right? So the first two ones are what I created just now. So I want you to open this screen and keep it ready. Clear? I'll give you 2 minutes to do the same. So I'll repeat the steps again. You have to go to Play Store if you have an Android phone. If you have your iPhone, you have to go to App Store and search as Figma Mirror, Figma-Mirror, Figma Mirror. The app name is Figma Mirror and FigJam. So you have to click on that, open it, log in with your Google account, which has been already signed in on your web browser. So you can just log in with your mobile app. Once you click on that, the new designs that you have created recently will pop up on your home screen. Done. Whoever has done it, can you please share your screen? Priti, Viha, Drishti, Datri, Neelam, Sanchita, share your screen. Open, switch on your video cam and then show me the same on your mobile phone. Priti, you're on mute.
Ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Okay. Does it have all the designs that you have created recently? Can you see the recent one? Yeah. Can you click on it?
I'm clicking on it, but it isn't going to the second page that I made.
So my first page has opened. If you can see, it will take time to load.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So wherever you have given the prototype plugin option, if I click on that, it will change.
Okay.
Okay. Try and see whether it is working as a live prototype. I'll tell you why we did this. Okay. I want everybody to explore the same. Then I'll tell you what exactly we did it on our phones. Okay.
Ma'am, how do I see that if it's a live prototype?
Is it clickable, Vritti?
Yeah, I mean, I tapped on it.
Once you tap it, it is changing, no? The two screens are interchanging, right? So that is functioning, correct?
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, that is right. Others, please try the same. Open till the first two screens that we have created as of now. Yeah. So once I click it, it is actually clickable for me. So I want you to try the same. So this is the design that we created just now. And it is actually opening on your phone as a live prototype. And it is clickable also. Correct? So install Figma Mirror on your phone. And I want you to open this and then check whether it is clickable or not. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Then I'll tell you why exactly we did this.
We have a question from Drishti Arora. She asks, is it possible to go abroad after a UG in UI UX, and what kind of companies can we get placed in?
Yeah, so we also provide a semester exchange program within our UG program that we offer for the specialization UI UX. So if you want to work with different diversified companies, you can also do that with the collaborated universities that we have attached with Pearl Academy. And yes, to answer for your industry exposure, UI UX is a booming field, and Bangalore is the hub for UI UX. Most of the design studios, well-built startup companies, unicorn companies, and also corporate and MNCs are part of Bangalore. If you're working for any remote-based company which is part of other countries, they will give you an exchange program as a field work. So you can go there, work for 6 months and a year, and then come back with the upgraded knowledge or the upgraded version of in-depth process that we follow within UI UX. So it is very important for you to work in the Indian society first, or understand how does the specific industry within India work, and then go further abroad. So if you have gained a lot of knowledge as in terms of understanding the basics, and once you have created more than 500 or 1000 screens, it will be very helpful for you to go abroad and then perform yourself and create products which are more productive and which has more enhanced user experience. So for you to start off with, it is very important that you work within India and then choose abroad, because the exposure and the experience and the knowledge is also very important. But yeah, you can do the exchange program within Pearl that we provide, or you have a lot of companies which will actually give you the remote job, or they'll ask you to come for the field work and then be part of their product team as a UI UX designer, which is the better option, and which is also the explorative option that you have within this industry, which is very good. Yeah.
Okay. We also have another question from Amir, asking how can I be engaged in UX constantly?
So one way is apply for the entrance exam for Pearl Academy and get enrolled for the UG or PG course. That way you can complete the 4 years program or the 2 years program. Other way is to read a lot about what exactly is a UI UX design in detail. And you can also watch the beginner exploration of understanding little bit basics, because they can only give you the basics of what exactly is UI UX, what do we do, what kind of products are built. So there are like a couple of videos on YouTube which you can refer the same. But to understand the entire process and how digital products are built for SaaS and platforms and for different variable screens, you have to do the in-depth course which we provide for UG and PG, the 4 years and the 2 years course, because you have to learn a lot. And UI UX is a huge umbrella domain. So it is not a thing that you will learn within 10 months or 11 months or 6 months of research. There is in-depth process methodology, 6D, 5D, 4D, 10D methodologies that we apply, a lot of UX research, framework of research that we do. And then the kind of wireframes that you see, the kind of UI screens that we built, each and every screen has the aesthetics, UI components and UI elements has to be learned in detail. and the material design or the UI trend that you apply, and then come up with the UI screens. So to understand the entire UI UX domain and the different verticals of UI UX domain, which is the futuristic technology which has been embedded recently, which is AR, VR, MR, XR. So we don't call it UI UX anymore. It is called as an interaction design as a whole. So there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to take away from that. So answered your question. Do you want me to add on to that?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead.
So I would suggest you to get on a call or reach out to one of our career counselors, which is Shruti Betagiri or Rachel. I guess Lakshmi Kant will give you the details and fix a call and understand if you want to understand the entire curriculum or have an interaction with our campus director Sayojita ma'am and me and meet other faculties, you're always welcome to drop down to the campus and have a discussion with me, and then get in touch with our career advisors and then have a discussion with us to understand the entire 4 years UG and 2 years PG course that we provide. So that will help you out to be in touch with the domain and also understand what we are providing as a Pearl Academy for you to take away from the course. Yeah. Okay, so any other questions? Ashwini will take it after this 5 minutes.
Okay,
So
sure.
I hope everybody has completed this, right? So we had created 2 screens and our screens are clickable, right? So the importance of you having a Figma mirror or Figma mirror and FigJam on your phone is that as a designer, let me share my screen. Can you people see the screen? Please tell me yes or no. Yeah, okay. So if you see the screen over here, as interaction designers, as UI UX designers, we have created 2 screens, correct? So these 2 screens, we have done it as UI UX designers. We understood the dimensions of the artboard. We understood the grids. We understood the alignments. We took up a task of creating a login page, and then we gave the prototype plugins and we made it as a clickable prototype, which is this prototype. So as a UI UX designer, our job is done as the designing part is completed. But once you hand over this design to a UI development team who are actual coders or Angular testing team who does the API integration part or the backend BPM workflow automation part to make these 2 UI screens or these 2 artboards or these 2 designs live, from the backend part, they have to code it and then they have to make it live, right? So for that, as a designer, it is very important for you to check whether your live prototype is functioning properly. So within the design screen, you have given certain text size, which is 20 for the text size. You have taken the bold as an option. Then there is a button grid structure. Then there is an interaction which you are giving from one specific button to the artboard, right? So we have given the prototype plugins. We have designed according to the aesthetics or the UI components or the UI elements of the design principles of UI UX design. We have understood the placements of the grids of the text box, of the size of the typography, the color that we have chosen, and we have created 2 sets of artboards or the UI screens for mid-fidelity wireframes, and we know that it is functional. So see whether it is going to be a complete live prototype or whether it is going to be completely functional. We need to check it through Figma Mirror. So if you're using Adobe XD for mobile is the option. If you're using Figma as a tool and if you have designed your designs on Figma Mirror is an option for the mobile screens. So the moment you design it, the moment you give the prototype plugins, next process that you do is install your Figma mirror and check whether it is functioning properly as a clickable prototype. So my entire 2 screens are clickable and it is functional, right? So as a UI UX designer, I have actually succeeded to design 2 screens which are actually functional. But from the visual aspects, I have to check whether the size of the fonts that I have given is correct, whether the placement of the text that I have aligned within my web browser on my desktop screen is correct, and whether the alignment of the text is same. Is it overlapping on each other? Is it submerged within each other? Is the text overlapping on the button? Is the color of the text that I had given as black, is it visible? Is the gray buttons that I have placed, is it visible properly? So you will check the aesthetics, you will check the alignment, you will check the clickable option, and you will check the entire navigational flow, right? So once you check this and once it is clickable option, it is called as rapid prototype testing. So the moment you test your screens or your artboard or your clickable prototype on Adobe XD on phone or Figma Mirror on phone, you have completed the process of prototype testing, which is called as rapid prototype. So as a UI UX designer, you have succeeded to make and design and develop a complete clickable navigational flow prototype. So now your file is ready. You can take this file and share the link, URL link, or share this prototype to the Angular testing team or the UI development team, saying that entire aesthetics, entire grid structure and the layout of my UI screens are proper. I have tested it through rapid prototype testing and the testing has come proper. And now you can go ahead and code it and make it live for the users. So this is the process that we follow as a rapid prototype testing for our prototypes. Once we have completed the prototype plugins, we do the rapid prototype and then we hand over the files to the next level, that is for the UI development stage. Any questions, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Did everyone try it? Were you able to create the screens and test it by yourself on Figma Mirror?
Ma'am, I'm testing it right now, actually.
Great. So yeah. If you want, you can share your screen, Viha.
Ma'am, I'm actually I'm doing it on my computer. So I have to turn on my camera and show the computer.
Yes.
And check what's going.
Yeah. Please turn on your camera and get your phone closer. So whoever has tested it, please switch on your video camera, get your phone closer, okay? And then tell me what are the changes you have observed. I'll quick answers. We are running out of time. Please do it quickly.
Ma'am, can you see my screen?
I can't see your screen. Really. You need to switch on your video cam. Anybody else can see her, or is it only me?
No, I don't think we can see a screen.
Yeah. Riti, is it working for you? Did you test it on your own? Were you able to see any changes, or is it as it is?
Mama was able to see the changes after clicking.
Is it the same as you did it within the web browser, or is there any changes in the alignment or in the text color or in the text box?
Mama, it's the same.
It is the same. Great. Others, Anant, Drishti, Datri, Tanish, Kruchita, Sanchita, Neelam, Tavishi. Okay, design your 2 screens using Figma as we did it in the step-by-step process today. Test it through your Figma mirror on your phone. Analyze whether the text boxes, the buttons, the colors, and the placement of little graphics that you have placed is proper, and is it completely clickable? If yes, you have succeeded as a UI UX designer. Through rapid prototype testing, you have created a complete live prototype, and that live prototype is clickable, and it is also called as a clickable prototype. So this was one of the rapid prototype testing, which is one of the important methods or the testing methods that we usually follow when we do the prototyping stage. So before handing over our requirement sheet or the final prototype to the developmental stages or to the developers, we do the stage and then we proceed to the next stages of UI UX design. So hope you all enjoyed it, and do perform it again through the step-by-step process as I've told you, and this will be very, very helpful. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. I think we have time for one last question from Tavishi. Tavishi, you put your hand up, so we'll just take your last question and then we'll wrap up.
No, you were saying that we could present our screen and show it. So
Yeah, you'd like to do that? Please
yeah,
show.
can I do it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Correct, Tavishi. It is exactly right. Have you tested on your phone by using Figma Mirror?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I tested it.
Okay. Is it the same? Any changes?
No, I could add more slides. Right now it's just 3.
Okay, great. So then the design remains same, and it is as clickable and as navigational as you have done it within your web browser, which is correct. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic, Tavishi. Right, so I think we can wrap up, but I think it was a beautiful session. Kalyani, I think, there's a lot of learning here, and it's really made it possible for the students to really put their thoughts down and make an app, at least the flow of an app, and something that seems to be working. So fantastic. I really enjoyed this session. Unfortunately, Ashwini is having some trouble connecting. Yeah.
But I will second Dion on that. I think it was a really exciting session. Kalyani, I need to join your class. Learn something. I think it's really exciting, and I think students must have enjoyed themselves. So yeah, thanks, Dion, for giving us this opportunity. I think it was really nice.
Awesome, Sayogita. Thanks, Kalyani, and to Lakshmikant as well for helping us organize this. Right?
No problem. You're most welcome. Thanks
Take
a
care.
lot.
Bye.
Thank you, Dion,
Bye, guys.
for giving me this opportunity to be part of your wonderful session, and the little knowledge that I could share on UI UX, I did it too. So looking forward to have another workshop with your people and then explore more. Thanks a lot.
Kalyani, you should say looking forward to seeing your students in my class. That's what. Anyway, good job done, guys. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you, Kalyani. I think great session, beautifully done. And thank you guys, students, for being interactive, asking questions, showing your screen. That's amazing. Thanks a lot.